Well, boys and girls, here I am at my life coach's house. She won't let me take any photos of her or show a video of her because she's not looking at her best, apparently. But it gives me time to speak to you about the Washington Capitals. They're next. This is my pick, or was my pick in the beginning of the season for the Stanley Cup. I believed that they were going to win the Stanley Cup. And I'm still going to go with that because I picked it, but I'm really not sure with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. They are playing out of this world, and it's going to be tough to beat them, but I'll stick with them, mostly because Barry Trotz is my man crush, and has been for a long time. I think he's the best coach in the league. When he was in Nashville, he took teams that had no business being there to the playoffs and even won a couple rounds. And you're seeing that with Laviolette, who is also a very good coach, how difficult it is for that to be the case because they are a low budget team. They very seldom they don't really have all that much depth. And as I've mentioned several other times in this series I've been doing, is coaches do have an effect on goaltenders, and Rene hasn't been the same since Trotz left. And then he goes to Washington, and Holtby is like beating the world. He's probably top 5 in the league. The reason why I think they're gonna win the cup, though, mainly is because they have an owner that is just simply not going to accept anything less. I think at the trade deadline, you're going to see them pick up D-men that they do kind of need, although they have an underrated defense. Niskanen, for example, is extremely underrated. People that know hockey know that he is up there with the best of any of them. And he didn't start out that way. He improved himself every year to get to where he is. He's a tireless worker. They also have Orlov, who has taken his time to develop, but has developed into an excellent defenseman. And Carson, of course, who is a stud on the D line. Their overall defense in general is underrated, and that same as Ovechkin. People have said that Ovechkin is a poor defensive player. He played with coaches that asked him to play little defense before, not pay attention to it as much. But as soon as Barry Trotz came in and started putting a system in place that asked for him to play defense, he's probably one of the best defensive players on their team. He is an amazing player all around in every way. Been probably the best shot we've seen since Brett Hall. Some might even say better. I'm not sure about that, but they're fantastic. Their offense is as deep as they come. Their middle line players, especially like Johansson, there's another underrated player, and he's shown it even more this year. He's got, I think he's got heading for like a 60-point season or something like that, and that's kind of where I thought he always was. I always wondered why he didn't put up the points like that, but I think mostly it was because they played him on the third line because he was so good defensively. The one thing they don't have going for them, and it makes it another reason why I think this is the year that they will win the cup, is they haven't drafted very well, and they don't have much coming up in the pipeline. The guys that they're bringing up that they have drafted, like Forana, don't appear to actually that they're going to have long NHL careers or be what they intended them to be. So with very little in the pipeline, and not too many draft picks coming up because they give up a lot of their draft picks to try to win every year, this is the year. This really feels like the year for the Washington Capitals, and I'm hoping for Barry Trotz's sake that he gets to have that cup on the mantle and be able to be recognized with the greatest coaches of all time, because I think he's been kind of shafted in a way, sort of like Dave Tippett, with having to bring average to poor teams as far as they possibly can, but getting the best out of them anyways. Backlund and Backlund is a fantastic centerman. They have the big centerman that they need. Kuznetsov is not having a good year at this moment, but that is also because Trotz is teaching him to play a defensive game. Focus more on that. But I think you're going to see, by the time the end of the season is up and coming, that they are going to be hitting on all cylinders. And it's going to be interesting to see. I hope you get to see Washington-Pittsburgh in the Eastern Finals, because that would be one hell of a series. Anyways, I got to go spend more time with my life coach, as I have been having a serious lack of nap time in the day, and we need to reorganize and meditate on how we can improve that. So have a great day, everyone. That's my full 42. Take care.